Today we're going to learn how to determine what size camera bag we need with 5 quick tips to help us prevent from overpacking, getting a camera bag that weighs too much, costs too much, or something that just doesn't fit our needs. I'm Tony from the Tony Never Show. Thank you for joining me today. If you're getting value out of this video so far, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps so much. So let's jump right into the tips. Tip number 1, determine how you intend to use the bag. Is it for travel? Is it for videography work? Is it for photography work? Are you using it for an everyday carry bag? Those are the kind of things you need to talk to yourself about first before just buying a camera bag, because you want to make sure you get something that works for you. If you do a lot of like action sports, maybe you don't want a bag that's made out of mesh, right? Maybe you want something that can withstand outdoor climates, conditions. You know, if you're going to be in a lot of rain, you're going to be a lot of mud, maybe you want a fully waterproof backpack. There's backpacks out there that are, resistant to water, and they come with a rain cover on there. But maybe you want to find something that's like water resistant fully, where you don't have to worry about a rain cover, or if you're out there in the elements, and the bag will hold up just well. Also action sports, if you're riding motocross or biking, you got your bag on you the whole time. If you fall, you don't want your bag to get damaged. So find something that has really good abrasion resistance to it just as well. If you travel a lot, finding a backpack that will fit in overhead carry on a plane is key. The last thing you want to do is take your camera bag with your laptop, your hard drives, and your lenses, and you can't bring laptops for anything outside of carry-on, so you got to have it with you. But you don't want to put that in the stowaway luggage, because if it gets damaged or lost, then you're going on a trip for work, then it's gone. But like I said, you got to have your laptop with you anyway, so making sure you have a laptop backpack that fits in overhead carry or between your legs on the airplane is key too, just as well. So just make sure that you determine to yourself what type of job that you're going to need a backpack for. I carry an everyday bag. I carry my camera, one lens. I carry a camera, 2 lenses, 17-40, and a 50mm prime. Those 2 lenses are perfect for me. The 50mm prime is small, super compact, because I got the 1.8, and I have the larger ones, but the 1.8 is perfect because it doesn't take up any room in my bag, and it's almost like it's not there, and it barely weighs anything. And then I kind of use the rest of the storage in my bag outside from having my mic in there for ND filters, batteries, and then just things that I would normally put in my pockets or a sack bag, and I just throw it right there in that backpack in one little compartment. So I barely carry anything. And on the outside of the bag, I carry a Joby Gorilla Pod. So I use my backpack as an everyday carry. But I can also take it to travel, and I can use it for jobs if I need to do something really quick. Now, if I'm doing jobs, I'm going to obviously use a different backpack that carries more stuff. But for everyday carry, my backpack's always ready to go. And if I have a last minute project that comes up, I'm ready. I can do it right then and there. Tip number 2, the biggest thing that I see a lot of issues with is not knowing exactly what you're going to carry. You buy a camera bag because somebody suggested this bag to you, and oh wow, it's great price, it's amazing, it does exactly what you want. The issue there is that you don't know what you're putting inside of it. So before you buy a camera bag, I highly recommend taking all the equipment that you're going to use. After you determine what kind of jobs you're going to use the backpack for, grab that equipment and just lay it out. Look at things that you need to have in that bag. If you need to carry a laptop, obviously the laptop stays there, but you're also going to have to need, charging cables for a laptop, hard drive cables, and potentially a backup battery for it, right? So that's something that's already going to be essential. If you need to put your camera in there, well, you got to have batteries for your camera, you got to have a charging cable, and you have to have a lens and a microphone, depending on if you do video or photo, right? And then SD cards. Now, SD card wise, I used to carry an SD card holder, but since I use my camera bag as everyday carry, and I always unload my footage every single day, I just bring one SD card, and that SD card lives in the camera. I don't bring extras anymore. I find it just not relevant to me. It's extra weight, and I didn't need it, so it was one of those things that wasn't a must-have. Which for some people that might sound crazy, because what if that SD card fails and you need another one right away? If I'm being honest, Walmart, Dollar General, Best Buy, all those stores are always nearby. And I know I said Dollar General, but they sell memory cards. And if I have to grab a memory card from them, I will. And then I just have an extra one to bring back home. That's it. So why bring 4 or 5 different SD cards or CF cards when I can just go buy one if I need one? And if I'm being quite frank, I haven't had an SD card fail on me in the past decade. I know it happens, but it just hasn't happened to me, so I've been blessed. And if for some reason that does happen, there's other ways to restore footage if I need to, okay? So look at your must-haves. Next thing you want to look at is your just-in-cases. We all have those just-in-cases, right? If you're not an action sports photographer, if you're not doing action stuff yourself, the likelihood of you needing a GoPro inside your backpack is very small, right? Unless you use a GoPro every single day for maybe time lapses, dash cam, you really don't need to pack that GoPro in your bag. It's kind of a waste of space. I carry a GoPro in my bag, and here's why. So I have the GoPro Hero 9, the Media Mod. I carry 1 to 4 batteries for it, a USB-C cable also, and a snap mount attachment. And I use my GoPro for time lapses in my car. So as I'm driving somewhere, if I need to make a cut scene, if I want to show where I'm going for a vlog, I use my GoPro that way. Also, with the snap mount, since the mount is magnetic itself, I use it at the gym. So if I want to get, a couple of video shots of me working out for TikTok, Instagram Reels, then I use a GoPro that way. It's less of a burden to other gym members too, because you're not holding a big mirrorless camera or DSLR camera at the gym. So everyone knows what a GoPro is, and they're more accepting to it. And also I'm not pulling my phone out, wasting battery while I'm trying to listen to music too, just as well. Tip number 3, and this is the hardest one, is determine your budget. How much money do you want to spend on a backpack? I say a good sweet spot is anywhere between $70 to $150 for a backpack, which is not bad. There's some backpacks that are definitely under $70, and some backpacks that's definitely over $150. But for me, I've bought backpacks in the past that were like $30-$40, and they tear. The pockets the compartment pockets are just crappy. They fold apart and they break, and the stitching comes undone. And I want my backpack to be ready for any kind of condition. So buying a cheaper backpack just didn't do it for me anymore. Now I do keep those cheaper backpacks for just in cases, because you never know when you're going to lose a camera backpack, and I'm not going out and spending X amount of dollars again right off the back just because I lost my bag when I got an extra one just at home. So I do keep an extra one just at home, and that's because I just collect bags. So I do have a cheap backpack for just in cases. And the way I use that cheap backpack is if I'm going to the zoo and I need to pack, just a camera and kid stuff like snacks, clothes, diapers, all that jazz. I throw it in a cheaper camera bag. Usually cheaper bags are a little bit thinner for the actual bagging itself, so they stretch out a little bit more. So I can actually pack some more kid snacks and everything, because I refuse to pay for snacks at the zoo. 100% refuse. I'm not buying food there. I'm bringing sandwiches. I am not buying snacks. I am bringing chips. Tip number 4, and this is one tip that I feel like a lot of people skip over. I know I used to skip over it myself, but when you get a new camera backpack, everything is laid out perfectly on the inside from the way the manufacturer built it. But the issue with that is that the manufacturer built it for what's common for a lot of people and not what's good for you. So the first thing I always suggest, unless you happen to like the way it's laid out, is to take all of the padding inside and just rip it out. Get rid of it. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to take our laptop. We're going to find a laptop pocket, whether it's on the inside or outside. We're going to get our laptop in there. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to take our camera with the lens that we normally have on that camera. If you're a vlogger and you have a 16-35 and it lives on that camera, put it on that camera. If you are a portrait photographer or landscape photographer, if you have the wide angle lens for landscape, or you have a 85 or 100 millimeter lens, whatever you use for portrait photography, slap it on there. The reason why we're doing this is because we want to make sure our camera's fully ready whenever we need it, right? A lot of backpacks nowadays come with ease of access pockets, where maybe it's a side pocket or a top pocket where you can just grab your camera real quick and start shooting. We just want to make sure that our camera's ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our camera, battery, SD card, lens together. We're going to find an area of the backpack that we want our camera at, put it there, and take those dividers and build around it, right? So typically, like, depending on like what size, like the price of the backpack you bought, it probably has like a small L-shaped divider pocket already pre-built, and maybe your camera fits in there perfectly. I find that a lot of backpacks fit my mirrorless camera in there that way, but I also have a 5DM Mark II with a battery grip, and that's a pretty big camera with the battery grip on there. So sometimes I find some trouble finding pockets that are already pre-built, so I gotta strip everything out. But once you strip it out, you can start reorganizing everything the way you need to. Like I said, laptop first. If you don't carry a laptop, skip that part, or you can skip it part. You can do that last if you want to. But camera, lens, SD card, battery put together. Next thing I would suggest is finding a pocket for things that you have to have for your camera, and putting a pocket there. Maybe you're carrying extra like 2 lenses. Maybe you have a 7200. You also have a 24-70. Build those pockets next. Build the battery pocket if you keep your batteries that way, and then the extra like whatever pocket, right? And then you'll start seeing that like as you lay things out and organize it, you're leaving out stuff that you don't need versus like, oh, there's a pocket here, there's a pocket there, and just trying to fill every pocket because that's what the manufacturer sent you, and you assume that you have to fill it up, but you don't. You do not have to do that. Also, like I said, you're figuring out like what you need and what you don't need. So only carry the must-haves. This is the perfect opportunity for you to only carry the must-haves and get rid of the stuff that you just don't need, those just in cases. Don't make a pocket for them. Once you do, you got to fill it up. Like up here, our brains are wired to say, "Ooh, empty pocket. Let's put something there." For me, the empty pocket means, great, I have extra room to give other things more space. And I'll start expanding pockets out. Also, too, like one thing people forget is a notebook, a pen, gum, lotion, hand soap, like those small little things that we take for granted that we don't need because maybe we're just going out real quick. Those things come in handy a lot. I find that gum is ideal to have. A small little pocket notebook, a pen, maybe a highlighter, like these little utensils that we think about all the time that should be everyday carries, but we don't carry them. They get lost. A pocket knife, a MacGyver tool, like that little extra pocket that you were trying to film more camera stuff in there. Take smaller items, put them in there. For women, maybe it's a little wallet clutch, or for guys, maybe it is your wallet. I put my wallet inside my backpack. It saves things out of my pockets, and I put it right there. So that extra pocket that you're trying to fill, use it. The stuff that you put in your normal pants pockets, shorts pockets, put them in that pocket. So that way you're not carrying extra weight in your pants or shorts or your jacket, right? The last tip is tip number 5, and this one's a doozy because some people don't want to do this. If you have a scale at home, once you've completely filled your backpack up, get on the scale. Figure out how much you weigh with your backpack. Now, obviously, the one thing you should do beforehand when you first get the backpack is to get on the scale with an empty backpack. Or you can just look at the manufacturer description and see how much a backpack weighs empty and determine that. Some backpacks can vary from like 2 pounds to 10 pounds, just weight for the material of the bag. Like the one I carry right now for everyday carry weighs about 5 pounds empty. And then I pack my stuff in there. The reason why we want to weigh ourselves with our backpack on is to make sure that we're not packing 30, 40 pounds on top of our back. Yeah, we can carry stuff on our back, but do you really want to go on a 3-hour hiking trip with 40 pounds on your back? I don't think so. If you're a photographer, a videographer, you're shooting a wedding, and you're carrying a lot of stuff with you because it's a 10 to 12 hour day, and maybe you drove 30 minutes to an hour, you cannot go back home, I get it. Maybe your backpack might weigh 30 pounds. But if it's an everyday carry bag like I do, or if it's for action or just a quick travel, I don't like my bag weighing more than 15 pounds with stuff packed inside of there. And honestly, that's why I don't carry a laptop. I carry my iPad Pro, but I will not carry a laptop. Anything I can do on my laptop, I can do on my iPad Pro from what I've seen. And if I really need my laptop, then the project can wait till I get home, which it probably already was waiting till I got home to get back on my laptop where I have a bigger workspace there for Premiere Pro. But for the most part, I just use LumaFusion to do a lot of editing or Premiere Rush. So the need for a laptop is not there for me. I know for some people it is, but for me it is not. So make sure your backpack is, at a comfortable weight. I like my backpack to weigh about 15 pounds. If I can stay under 15 pounds, closer to 10 pounds that day, that's perfect. But I really like to, make sure I'm not carrying that much stuff in there. But that's all I got for you today. Like I said, if you got value out of this video, please hit that like button. Leave a subscribe and a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Maybe you have some other ideas. Maybe I didn't say something and you were looking to hear for it. Let me know down there because there will be a part 2 to this series. I'm Tony. This is Tony Nera Show, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.